I see people are finding me, okay? We'll wait a few more minutes. I'll do a few adjustments here. Hi, Connie and Sandra, Sharon Hayes. Welcome. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Ronnie. And Sharon. Welcome, welcome. I think it looks good. Everywhere's on my end. Okay. Hi, Anita. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm so happy to see you here. Hopefully everything will continue to go smoothly. I just wanted to talk a little bit about next month's Paper Pumpkin. It is our anniversary month, so you will be getting an extra stamp set if you subscribe. And I started something new this month. You saw the alternatives last week. I created 3 alternatives. I'll be sending the directions to people that are my Paper Pumpkin customer, as well as one of the kits that had the wiggly wobbly little thing underneath it. So you can subscribe by March 10th in order to be sure that you get the March kit. I'm sure all of you know my name. My name is Corinne Sandin. I see a couple more people have joined us, one being Tammy. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Lewiston, Maine. So I only have 4 kits left of this next month's upcoming paper share, which you will get a quarter of the package. I got to fix that. Not Christmas paper, but on the Horizon paper. And then some of you may be aware of it, but some of you may not be. The little mini embossing machine, which is very lightweight compared to many of the other ones that we had, is on sale for 20% off. And then there's some bungles that there's a couple of them that they put back together as a bungo. For example, the sunflower, you will save an additional 20% on those. And they all fit in this little mini embossing machine. So if you'd like me to send you this flyer, just shoot me off a quick text or something, and I'll be happy to send that to you. And then Stampin' Up! Is spoiling us with a preview of a product that will be in the new catalog. However, they have added a couple of perks. It's this beautiful Waves of Ocean. It features this very unique paper. If you buy the whole bungo, I believe it's over here, you get the paper, the stamp set, the embellishments, all for a flat fee. The paper will not be available in the new catalog. So if you like this paper, it's only while supplies last, and it will not be in the new catalog. So I think that's all of my housekeeping stuff. So how's everybody today? I hope you're all doing well. I see Cindy has joined us and Diane Lowell, and now I see Sue's here. Welcome, welcome. So let's get started. I have a couple of neat projects for you. They all have to do with some older techniques that we had in the past. So if you've been stamping for a number of years, trying to get the envelope out. That's bizarre. We're not off to a good start. Let's start with this one. I can't see the sample. Well, for goodness sakes, Tammy was here this afternoon. I showed it to her. So I know it's here. Well, that is so weird. Let's start with this one. Maybe I'll stumble across it. That'll teach me for taking it out of the place that I had it, huh? So if I can't find it, I'll just create it as we go along. So this one, I wanted to showcase the two different types of embossing. This is in the olden days, we used to call it dry embossing. Now we have folders. I hope you can see that little shimmer. This is a heat set. So I'm using some of that beautiful paper from the Home Suite option. And you can find that in the June to July catalog. Let me get my cheat sheet out for you. So the New Horizon paper is also in the June to July catalog. I call it the J&J catalog on page 86. So the Horizon one, which is part of my paper share this month, and this is the paper that I'm using tonight. So let me see. Oh, thank you, Tammy. Tammy just told me where my card was. I took a picture so I could upload it for tomorrow. Thank goodness I have good friends that keep me straight. So for the embossing folder of this one, I used that beautiful pines. Let me see, Evergreen Forest one that we all like so much. So I'm going to stick that in. Couple of tips. I want it to go portrait. You line up the edge of your cardstock with that black line. That's the purpose of the black line. Then you're going to hear my machine, because I do have an electric machine. Because I have so many joint issues. I just can't do the crank one. The little one I can, but the big one I can't. So when I take it out, you have this beautiful embossed. So you can see there's like two sides. I call this the deboss side, and I call this the embossed side. So I thought it would be fun to stamp on a piece of designer series paper and emboss it, which is what I'm going to do. I like to use a coffee filter for my embossing powder. I'm not going to, we don't sell the little embossing buddy anymore, but if you don't have one, you could use a dryer sheet. So I'm using this beautiful fern-like from the Amazing Silhouette again. I just love this stamp set. That too is in the J&J, the June to January catalog. Now, our basic ink is not pigment ink, but it's so wet. If your pad is wet enough and you're quick enough, you can see I have everything ready. I'm just using plain old clear, which is in the annual catalog. It comes with clear, black, and white. Just want to double check that it is clear. I'm going to stamp it on this little tiny piece that I have. Got to be a little bit quick. I'm going to put, oops, I want to move my, always move your stamp pad if you got embossing powder out, because it goes everywhere. So you might want to turn your volume off for a minute because it's going to get loud for a second. Couple of tips with heat guns. There's many on the market. Stampin' Up sells them. Many of us have older ones, which is what I have. You want to start in an area on your thing that you want to heat emboss. And when that gets warm enough that it starts to turn shiny, then you move on very slowly. Don't think of this as a wand, as I tell people. And it gets hot, so I'm going to use a pair of scissors to hold it down. So you can see it's a little bit shiny now. Now, a couple of tips I want to give you. As you saw, I started here and worked my way up around counterclockwise. If your stamp pad is not wet enough to do this trick that I just showed you, try re-inking it first. If that doesn't work, clean this off, stamp this with Versamark, which is a clear, mine's a dirty pad, but it's clear. Then stamp it with your colored ink. It's not going to hurt your colored ink pad, and then use the clear embossing powder. I personally tend to like the clear embossing powder because you can do so much more with it. That's just my personal preference. There's no right or wrong. So I'm going to put a couple pieces of twine here. I'm trying to look and see if I don't answer your question. It's not because I'm ignoring you. It's I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. I don't know if you guys can, but I know I can't. So I'm so happy to see you all here. Hope you had a fun day. I know I did. And people stopped by to make their cards from the Stampin' Stack. And Jamie stopped by for a little visit. Oh, excuse me for a second. My glucose monitor. All good. It just goes off 2 hours after I eat to make sure I'm still in range. Alright, now I'm going to take another little piece to tie. A little tail, as I like to call it. And I, on 99% of the time, use this cheating method, because that way I can move my bow to wherever I want it. So let me grab my card base. And I took another piece of that paper and put it for the envelope. Let's get some dimensionals here. So I'm putting a lot of dimensionals. I want to make sure it survives the mail. All right. I just love this. I believe it's basic gray. It's one of our annual colors. It's in the neutral party. I'm going to trim these down a little bit more. And then I'm going to fray them a little bit with my fingernails or my pickup tool. I just like how that looks. Then we need some more dimensionals. Yep, this is dimensional happy. on the back of my designer paper. This paper is so pretty. And I love that the back side is all black and white, so then you can do like I did, or you can color it any color that you may need designer paper for a particular project that you're working on. And I did not put a greeting on this because there's so many occasions that I can use this for. And I find myself doing that more and more so that when I need a card, I can just grab it. Let's put this on our envelope. Here's my tape. I'm using the Stampin' Seal. I'm lining that up nice and even with the edge. Taking a bone folder and burnishing it to make sure it sticks well. And then I'm going to trim. This is about a 2.5 by 6 inch piece of paper. Need a little bit over 2 1/4. So there. Pretty, huh? And you can see the little shimmer when I flick it a little bit. You could do a whole set of these and give them away as a gift in many different colors. It would be absolutely gorgeous. All right, so the next card, I need to clean this off first. I'm putting a different color. Now, if you've been stamping for a number of years like I have, there's so many techniques that are coming back now that were back from the heyday, as I say. Thank you, Sharon. So let me set these aside, and I'll bring them back in when we're done. So this is the next one. I'm going to bring it up close so hopefully you can see the detail. There's little dots like of different colors. It looks like a summer flower to me. Those of you that have been stamping for a long time, we used to have a technique that was called thumping. And this is kind of a cleaned up version of thumping. So I'm using that same beautiful stamp. I have some other projects with the other stamps, but I'm saving them for future. So this time I am using Sahara Sand. And the Embossed has got Granny Apple Green, and this is a piece of the paper from the Horizon in Coloring Contour Die. I want to make sure this is inked up well, and I like how this stamp does the shading for you. So back in the day when we did what we call thumping, you would take your marker and just bang it different places after you had another color on. So instead of doing that, because I wanted to use my blends and I didn't want to ruin them, not that it ruins them, but it can dull the tips, I took the pointed edge, I call it, not the painting edge. And I'm going to make little dots. So I'm going to do a few and then I'll put it up to the camera. So this particular color is Tammy's favorite color, Flirty Flamingo. Who else likes Flirty Flamingo? Anybody watching tonight? If that's one of your go-to colors. So see how I just made a few dots? With one color. Then I'm going to take, this one is Light Mango Melody. And make some more dots. There's no rhymes or reason to where I'm placing them. Just thinking of all these little things as, you know how, what do you call it, cherry blossom trees have those pretty little flowers. And there's another one that I've seen in the summer too, but I'm not a flower person, so I don't know all their names. That kind of have that mixed color. So now I'm using Granny Apple Green. So my tip tonight, another tip for you. If you use the same ink and the same cardstock of one color, no matter what you put with it, it's going to look fine. It's going to look balanced because you've had a marriage with the same color. So you can put as much as you want or as little as you want. My problem is sometimes I don't know when to stop. So that's what that looks like. And then I took crumb cake, light crumb cake, and I want to color the branch. But I wanted it to be different than this background, so that's why I took light crumb cake. I'm just coloring the branch. Did any of you ever do that thumping, we call it? It works better with the other markers, the Marvelous. So there, that's what it looks like now. So we're going to dress it up by attaching it to this piece of the back side of the New Horizon paper, which is in the January to July, I think it is the J&J, I call it the J&J catalog. January to June, I'm sorry. So I'm centering that so I can see some of that stitching. Some more pop-ups. And then I already embossed the Granny Apple Green with the beautiful Ornate Floral Garden. It's one of those thick ones, so remember you need less underneath when you're embossing it. So I'm going to use my favorite red glue. Thank you, Patsy. Remember, you have to be mindful when the cardstock is embossed, like this. Back in the day, we called it dry embossing, because not all adhesive will hold well. So this time I cut my mat a little bit smaller because I wanted a nice big white frame. So this is 3 3/4 by 5. Take these dimensionals off, the back ends. I'm going to center that right here. And then I have, this is the, you're going to get some of these if you subscribe to my paper share. Yes, this month you get a half a package of these adhesive Artistry Bloom sequins. I like them because they already have the adhesive on the back. Once in a while you get one that it's missing, just take a glue dot. So there. This one I probably put a little bit more ink than I did the first one, but aren't those beautiful cards? And just think of all the different occasions. I mean, this is a beautiful birthday, get well, sympathy, thinking of you, hello, happy card. And then our other one that we made with the matching envelopes. Again, nice masculine, again, sympathy. Retirement, multiple. So next week is Fancy Fold. So I have a couple of really cute projects. I will be using that 3 Easter stamp set that I had a stamp and stack one of the cards this week, and there'll be a different one next time. Oh, thank you so much, everybody. I'm so happy that you guys love them both. They're very, very doable. If you didn't want to emboss this, it still would, you know, with the heat emboss, because it can be a little messy. You don't have to. Well, thank you so much for joining me, everybody. So like I said, I have a couple of really cute Fancy Fold cards for you next week in regard, and I will be using that Easter Friends, I think it's called. So I will see you then. If you have any questions or concerns, I will be posting these tomorrow. As you know, I was taking the picture. That's where I left it for you. And the replay will be on YouTube tomorrow. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. You take care now and have a good night. Bye-bye.